Happy Easter to all of you. This indeed is a very strange Easter, possibly one of the most strange Easter Sundays that I've experienced in all my life. Now, it is not the most strange because when I was working in Oman in the Middle East, it was quite odd that we were working on Easter Sunday and Good Friday was a holiday purely because Friday was a holiday in the Middle East. However, more than it being a holiday, more than it being anything else, one of the things that we miss, or I guess all of us miss, is the ability to go out and greet people, possibly after church, or even if you don't go to church, go out, have lunch, break the fast of Lent. Now, Lent is a very interesting concept. Lent is something which basically is understood by many people in different ways. In reality, there is no such requirement to fast or to give up anything during the period of Lent. And even the period of Lent is actually not there in the Bible as we know it. In any case, that's not where I'm going. My point is that many of us do things and give up stuff that we like much. And Easter Sunday is when we stop all that and go back to our normal selves. Now, in this case, our normal selves is a bit of a strange statement because we are not being our normal selves. We are stuck at home, luckily at home. There are many millions who are not at home, who are in situations which I would not really even envisage. And we have to be grateful that we at least have this opportunity to be with our families, be safe, and be in comfort. At this time, my heart goes out to millions of people in India and in many parts of the world where people are away from home. People don't have homes. They live in shelters. They live in terrible conditions. I don't think most of us who have not experienced that situation can even get down to understanding what they are going through. Leaving that aside, because that is not something that I can say more about, I would like to talk about what we are experiencing and maybe people who are watching this or listening to this YouTube video are experiencing. One of the problems that people have been facing is the fact that they are not used to staying home, or rather they're not used to staying home for uninterrupted long periods where they cannot go out, where they cannot meet people, where they cannot just be themselves. We are largely confined to spaces and we really don't have a way to, let go of our emotions, our energies, our nervous energy, whatever it is. So it gets very difficult, and actually we begin to get on each other's nerves. Now, we may not realize how um, dangerous that is, but I have heard of reports of terrible abuse happening in many parts of the world, including India, where there is marital abuse, both from both the spouses. This is a situation that is not spoken about, but is very dangerous. It needs to be watched, and it needs to be handled carefully. I hope that government takes note of it and increases the helplines, especially where families are living together, where one or the other of the spouses or partners are addicted to any substance like alcohol, drugs, or anything. Now, for those who are addicted to these substances, they are not going to get what they have to get, and that's going to create problems. There's no point wishing that away and imagining it's not going to happen in India. It's very much there. Other than that, even if we are not talking about addiction to substances, we as a species need space. And when we don't get space, like any animal in the animal kingdom, and we are in whatever form an evolved animal, we start to find it very difficult to adjust and to keep smiling and to keep being pleasant, not allowing our emotions to play out. I think the sooner this is recognized and handled, and if required, people talk to counselors, the easier it is to handle. Believe me, it's not easy. How many movies do you watch? How much do you do? How many new things do you do? What is it that you can do to keep yourself occupied? The biggest problem that we face is the situation which comes when we don't know what we are going to do next. I wonder if you've seen how drivers react when they are at a signal, and the signal is a long signal of red, and they don't know how long it will take before they can move. You see them fidgeting and tapping the steering wheel, changing the gears, sometimes pressing the horn. In India, of course, it's a lot of it is pressing the horn. It's just a manifestation of frustration. They want to move, they want to go ahead. Now, what has happened here is that we have gone into a situation which we are unsure of what is going to happen. In my humble opinion, well, I wouldn't use the word humble opinion, but in my opinion, I feel it is better to take one day at a time. It's tough, it's not easy. Now, there is nothing that you can do about many situations. And merely sitting at home and breaking your head or, torturing your mind on what is to be done is not going to help. It is ideal if you can look after yourself, take care of your health, keep yourself as positive as possible, relax, do the do stuff that you don't normally do. Now, somebody brought up the thing about books. Now, I said I read books normally, so I'm not going to go down the road reading books, because once this is over, I'll again read books. Let me start doing something which is different, you know. So I've done my bit. I'm lucky to have a terrace, so I look after my terrace vegetable garden. I rake the leaves in the lawn. I make the bed. Do whatever. Keep yourself occupied for some time. And then what do? I watch television. I watch something, some program. And if I feel sleepy, I sleep. And then I get up. My routine is not is completely broken, but so what? Everything is out of sync right now. Don't think too much about it. Don't fret too much. Charge your batteries. You will need your batteries to be working at full capacity when this lockdown is over, and when, part by part, we are allowed to go out and start working again. What is important, and this is something that I have mentioned before, we will be starting, all of us, whether it is the owner or the CMD or the chairman of Reliance, or it's your, tire shop guy, we're all starting from a position of equal, it's like an equal footing, because none of us have experienced this. There is no living person who has experienced this kind of a situation. So just as much as a corporate honcho will have his own concerns about how to start the engine there, same concerns in a different way are there for the tire repair shop, for the small builder, for the tycoon who's into, FMCG goods. Everybody. Now I know FMCG has been going on because it comes under essential goods, but most companies, most sectors will have to start from scratch. When I say scratch, yes, they have had a backup, they have money, they have all these things, but what do you do? Because it's very possible that the rules of the game have changed. There is no way that this kind of a lockdown, this kind of a fear is not going to change the rules of the game. Believe you me. So we're going to have a situation which is very different. It's just like a friend wrote just some time back. He had his Easter service from home. So why should people have these gigantic churches that we have? Have a service. Those who can go, then go. The rest of them can pray from home. Why have gigantic stuff anyway? So airlines are talking about, going on 50% capacity. That's going to change the rules of the game. How do the airports manage their income? What about the shops they're in? All these things. So don't assume that you're going with, you're not going with a handicap. You're going there just the way anybody else is. Be confident. Don't give up before you face the first ball. This is like restarting an innings after a day's break. In the old days for cricket, you had a break after 2 days or 3 days. So you could be 95 not out on the second day, and then there was a 1 day break. And on the fourth day or the third day, you came back to start the innings. And at that time, remember, believe you me, you're starting from zero again. So be confident, be strong, don't give up. And as my old school motto, never give in. Have a great weekend.